Welcome to Moto Thoughts. It's something a little bit different than the Moto Podcast. The Moto Podcast is primarily interviews with my buddies, with everybody, from veteran business owners to different occupations that veterans found after service and first responders, of course. This is a place for me to be able to kind of elaborate on the different episodes, talk a little bit about what we're currently doing. The vision, the mission, and a place for me kind of just elaborate. The like I said, the mission, the vision. It's very simple and frank. This one's titled "What is Moto and Why is there no video?" I'm pretty sure we're gonna get to the second one, but let's talk about the first one. What is Moto? It's one question I've gotten. These are the two biggest questions I've gotten since the first episode aired. And I'm okay. I love answering this because it just bridges a gap for people that don't know. Maybe it's kind of like an inside secret, and some people want to keep it that way. I'm a big believer in bridging the gap with information and making sure that everybody's on the same page. So what is Moto? Okay. Moto, my understanding, Moto stems from the term in the Marine Corps, as far as I know it, stems from terms like motivator, motivation, just anything to do with motivation and a motivator. Sometimes you'll hear somebody say you're a motard, which means you're a motivated retard, and it's not taken as like derogatory. It just means you're extremely happily motivated. In the best, it's also kind of a term of, I wouldn't say endearment. It's the opposite of that. It's a thing you could look at and be like, okay, that guy's a motard. He's a motivated retard. Don't do that. But Moto to me, if I'm being frank, and what I'm starting this entire podcast from is like, Moto to me is this: when you're in, I used to be called Moto all the time because I would, as you heard in the first episode, I'd go run for days, and I would go run after the platoon PTs, the company PTs, battalion, whatever. I do my own PTs afterwards, and I was called a motard because I was doing something extra. That's also another way to be like, oh, that guy's really moto. He just goes above and beyond. Good example of this, I was about to say Rudy from Generation Kill, or just anybody that goes above and beyond. They're a little bit overboard with their training, with their anything, tactical and technical proficiencies. Their moto, your moto, if you read training manuals and field manuals, FMs, TMs, yeah, you're moto in that, right? Which is fair. Like I got it. Nobody wants to have a know-it-all, but I think being motos, to me personally, is having passion within the thing that you're trying to do. So if your job in the Marine Corps is to kill the enemy, eliminate that threat, whatever, you probably want to be the most capable and the most moto that you can be to eliminate that enemy. So if my job in the Marine Corps is mortars, I want to know everything to do, which it was. I want to know every training manual, every field manual, look at every SOP, standard operating procedures, every TTP. Anyways, and get to the bottom of that and know it like my bread and butter. So a lot of guys that I almost think people call other people moto in the Marine Corps, particularly because that's what I know it as people that are kind of just, the people calling somebody moto are a little bit lazy, right? But taking a different step, which is somebody that's just a gun ho, which, by the way, the term translates to work together. So it's kind of weird how people use it. It's kind of like it's kind of like the term. What am I thinking of? It's kind of like the term caveat that gets a really bad rep. A lot of first sergeants, sergeant majors that I've actually worked with, not a lot, but a good amount of them like to use the word caveat. I just like to caveat means warning. I'm sorry. I used to harp on this because it's so ridiculous. There's just terms, and for my brothers that are listening, brothers and sisters that are listening, you've come across those guys. I just want to caveat off what the commanding officer said, or what the CO said, or what the battalion commander said. There's some douchebag that's out there that's quite literally just using that word. I want a caveat. I want to give a warning about what the CO. That's not how he's saying it, but he says it anyways. So, moto can also mean this, which is it's a person that's calling you that for the sole fact that they're not able to meet or go raise the standard that you're operating at, if that makes sense. And it also could be this, which is somebody that's extremely motivated in the military and really good at their job. There's a few of those. Not a few. There's a good amount, but the reality is, I think when people get out, for the most part, I'm talking about Marines. I'm not talking about any other branch, because we'll interview other guys in different branches for sure. But I think for guys that get out, it's like in the Marine Corps, they all kind of become moto. By that I mean the guy that I never expected to see a Marine Corps flag hanging from his pole right below the American flag, of course, or just the Marine Corps flag. It doesn't really matter, or a POW flag, whatever. Those are the gents I would have never thought would be the guys that would have one, based on how much they hated the Marine Corps on their transition out. You're going to be able to hear a bunch of episodes coming up here with varying views on their time in service, their love lust, or some guys just were utterly moto and maintain that throughout. But what is moto? Moto, to me personally, at the end of the day, is this. It's a state of mind it's a state of mind with your physical, your spiritual, your mental, and your emotional being rooted in the heart of doing good things and the heart of being a healthy human being. And I know that gets convoluted with the 250th anniversary coming up here of the Marine Corps birthday, but moto to me means, outside of the drinking that's going to happen and proceed, moto to me means that. It's trying to maintain and trying to be as physically, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally fit as possible. It's going above and beyond the call of duty. It's going above and beyond what society tells you need to be, or your work tells you need to be. It's showing up and giving more percentage than anybody else. It's out gunning, it's out running, it's out wrenching, it's out. I was about to out shooting. Anyways, no. Moto is a state of mind where you're constantly trying to improve. You're trying to get yourself from where you're at right now and look at yourself every day in the mirror and say, am I doing something better? Am I better than I was yesterday? If the answer is no, I've always said this to anybody that's heard me personally talk. If I'm not better than I was yesterday, okay, now I know what I need to work on. If I'm better than I was yesterday, cool, that's great. Continue going down that route. Moto is a lifestyle. It's a mindset. So hopefully that addresses what moto means and why I call this the Moto Podcast. Because again, the real bottom line up front is this. I should have said this at the beginning, which is where military briefs get, is just like bottom line up front. This is okay. I should have done that at the beginning. Hindsight 2020. We'll get to the bottom line. We'll implement this if this becomes a thing. Bottom line up front is this. A lot of guys, when they get out, they're so disgruntled. They're so ready to get out. And they're looking for the next. They just want to get out. You're going to hear some stories of gents that just quite literally want to pieces, deuces, like, we're out. They didn't care where they were going to sleep. They didn't care any of that nature. They want to so badly be out of the military that is where they headed to. And it's really interesting. I always told myself, have a plan, establish this, X, Y, and Z. But anyways, and then those same individuals happen to be some of the most motivated or moto guys and girls that I've encountered in my time in recruiting, which is kind of crazy. And then now that I'm a veteran. So I hopefully it breaks down what moto means. Might have been a long whatever. I completely spaced. Anyways, cheers to 250 years of the Marine Corps excellence. 3rd Battalion, South Marines, no shit. Boys, gents, ladies, whatever you are. Shout out to you guys. I'll never forget that unit and the love I had for it. All right, that's first thing. What is moto? Hopefully, I broke it down for you. If you're a little bit more convoluted, a little bit more perplexed, confused, I get that. I probably would be too, I guess. It's hard to find something that is undefinable because so many people have different variations of it. When you're the guy that's going the extra mile and you're constantly being called moto, you're like, okay. I mean, I'm not doing it for the same reasons you think. I'm not just going above and beyond. Sometimes you need to be able to, as I mentioned in the first episode, I'm not always doing something just to go above and beyond and try to beat you. Sometimes, just like with running for me personally, sometimes it's purely to have peace of mind. And the only way I get that peace of mind is from running those extra miles, from running my dick into the sand and making my body hurt. It's the only time I feel true bliss, genuinely. Anyways, so hopefully that explains it. I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit more confusion. If you have comments or questions, please do that in the thing below. Let's answer the second part, which is why is there no video? There is video. Unfortunately, it's really bad. When we started, this is an entire learn as you go, right? It's the build a plane as you're flying it, if you will. And I got to tell you, that's really fun. But at the same time, it's like when you look at the footage, you're just like, we had so many cameras just flop out. We didn't know what we were 100% doing. We're a lot better now. By that, I mean myself and JJ. You've heard his nickname brought up a couple times in previous episode or the first episode of the Moto podcast. Yeah, it's a trial by fire, and you just got to go through it. No matter how many YouTube videos, no matter who you talk to, no matter what you learn, it's just one of those things that you got to experience for yourself. And testing the equipment, using the equipment properly, maintaining the equipment, all that stuff you do in the military for the people that were in. It's kind of like that. It's just you're learning a brand new MOS, military occupation specialty, for my Marines out there. But you're incorporating it into a thing where you're also trying to bring a message and all this stuff. So that should answer the entire thing. Is the video was so bad, and I think we're gonna end up posting on Patreon. I hate to make people pay for it, but it was that bad that I have to kind of be like that guy that's like, hey, we're not fucking doing I'm sorry, pardon my language. I try to keep it clean as much as I can, unless I get really passionate. I guess I just got really passionate. I hate to make people pay for the stuff they're viewing, but at the same time, it's like, if I don't want to watch it, I don't know why you'd want to watch it, and therefore I don't know why you'd want to pay to watch it. So therefore, that's a deterrent that I really feel is established, but then you can also watch. And the third thing I didn't bring up in the intro, which is this at the beginning, I think what we're going to do is we're going to do a filtered version, because there's just certain things we shouldn't talk about with these interviews. I've done quite a few of them now up to this point, and I'll tell you, there's certain things we shouldn't really talk about. But if you want to see the unfiltered version, we in the future plan to put that on Patreon. I'll make that announcement when it happens. I'm torn back and forth. I love the idea of an unfiltered version. I want to see if there's a way to, if anybody has any ideas about this, I would love to hear it. Is there a way that I can quite literally say, if you're a veteran or you're active duty service member, you can watch this for free? Like if there's a avenue there, that would be super sick. I don't know if there is. ID.me or something like that. I don't know. I'm playing with it. I'm thinking about it. But if somebody has something that's like streamlined where vets can just hear vets actually talk and active duty guys can also hear us just fucking talk. Again, second time I slipped up, but hey, man, again, when you get passionate, it's just one of those things. I would love to hear those suggestions. So if anybody has those ideas or wants, I'm going to do my own research, but I really want to see if there's a way that we can just have a network that specifically, maybe we could partner with like something like Vet TV, but like, I don't know, because anybody could watch Vet TV. I want to make it so accessible for veterans because they will not get so flustered by our commentary, our derogatory nature, the realness of what it is to be active duty and in the shit, in the suck, reserves, in the shit, in the suck, the dumb stuff. Again, the entire promise is the good, the bad, the stupid, and of course the funny. Like that's the hope, is that we can get to a place where we can have people just listening to this for free. I don't give a fuck about monetization. I don't care. Like if this reaches somebody that's in need, that's the hope. And my hope is that also we could just make that 100% free for veterans and first responders and active duty members, and not to get fucked. You know what I'm saying? Because cancellations are, because veterans say some dumb, active duty guys say a lot more dumb shit than veterans do. So if I had it my way, I'd be cussing. I wouldn't be cussing up a storm, but I'd be telling a lot more ridiculous shit. So that's just a little update. We're working on an idea of just having something that's on Patreon or something of that, area where it's just unfiltered. It's just guys and girls talking about their actual freaking experiences, not having to worry about, aside from cuss words, because cuss words are going to happen. I rated this entire thing explicit for a reason. I'm really okay with that. I'm actually kind of happy we did, because I don't want guys coming on here and being like, oh, fuck, I have to watch what words I say. No, you don't need to make it clean. Make it real. Do the thing that's true and keep it honest. So anyways, going back to the second point that I was trying to make from the intro at the beginning, is the reason why there's no video yet is because of that parameter. Is the camera angles are just so off. We had a couple cameras go down. We had to go to an iPhone at some point, and then another camera came down, so we had to go to, excuse me, we had to go to a GoPro. I know. So that just goes to show where we're at. Anyways, all that to say, I hope this explained what Moto meant, why we don't have the video episodes for the first two episodes. Again, we have one more that's coming out that's just audio only. We're going to figure out a way to put that out on Patreon or some other app. If somebody has an idea or a workaround that we could prove that it's just all veterans watching or something of that nature, I would love to hear it. I would love to hear somebody's take on it, that we can make this. Like, I would just do the unfiltered version for just veterans and active duty, first responders, all this stuff. Like that's because we encountered some dark things, and dark humor is just a part of our culture and society as a whole. Again, less than 1% have ever served. But then what's the percentage of police officers? I need to do a stats on those. I don't think I will eventually, but I haven't gone down that rabbit hole. That's the hope. So we could just have a network for everybody to just be able to watch this thing for free. As I don't know if you could prove. I don't give a fuck if you got out dishonorably. I don't give a fuck if you got out honorably. You should just be able to watch what we're doing, and hopefully it brings you hope. I already know. I got quite a few guys that hit me up, buddies that I've served with, that talked about how impactful that first episode was, even though there was no video, even though we didn't do all the crazy things that we plan on doing. And it's so cool. I'm super excited. I will never give a fuck about the subscribers. I just give a fuck about the impact, and if it benefits you in any way, shit, share it. Share it with other guys. Share it with share the story that you love with those those guys and girls that you know that can maybe benefit from it, and that's it. That's the main thing that we're doing this for. So, for anybody that doesn't know what or didn't know what Moto meant, hopefully you learned. Pardon me. 250th anniversary coming up here. I gotta start training. But yeah. Hopefully you got something out of it. Or if you didn't know, now you know. And then that also explains why we don't have video podcasting yet. We're working on it. Shitty of me not to explain that prior to, but yeah, it's just a factor. I said it in my Facebook post, which I don't know. I don't want to get into analytics, so let's just not do that. But yeah. Oh, okay. And then the last thing is we're gonna be this is kind of gonna be fun because this is gonna get posted on YouTube. The Moto Complex, MOTO, and then Complex, whatever. Not that I can't spell it right now. Just look it up. You're probably watching on here. That's just, anyways. The reason why we called it the Moto Complex is because it's going to be a variety of things. More to come on that, more to follow. But one of the things that we're doing is going out to Ton Tavern, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the birthplace of the Marine Corps, on November 10th this year, 2025. And we'll be doing some pretty fun, I think, fun content. Just, again, more to follow. But that's exciting. Yeah. So I look forward to, of course, interacting with other Marines, veterans, active duty, soon to be, fill all the wide parameters of that, and should be a lot of fun. I'm super excited. 250 years of excellence. I know some of the people that are watching are not Marines, Army, they're Navy, they're Coast Guard, they're National Guard, I don't know anybody that's SpaceX, so if you're watching, please comment. That'd be fucking sick. Somebody is from SpaceX. Anyways, Space Force, not SpaceX, my bad. Space Force. They're all convoluted together. I'm pretty sure Elon Musk has his own thing. Anyways, I'll probably get cut. Not really. Yeah. Anyways, so now that you know what Moto is, stay Moto.